Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I am your host, Brian Scott. It's a beautiful day today, and I'm excited to talk to you about a fascinating subject, and that is having a sense of urgency. It's really interesting how much you learn about yourself when you teach, and I've offered coaching and mentoring just a little bit in my limited schedule to a few people. And over time, I've started to see patterns with different people that there is a need for a sense of urgency, and that people that are effective at creating transformational change in their life, in effectively creating the reality that they want, in achieving the goals that they set for themselves, is to have a sense of urgency. In a world characterized by rapid change and fleeting opportunities, time is a commodity we can neither purchase nor reclaim. I believe that time is the most valuable thing, but as a result, I make some mistakes in my life. I do get into a hurry sometimes. Sometimes I don't check when I post stuff on the internet, and there's misspellings all the time. That's because I do appreciate time as a commodity. Yet amidst the incessant tick of the clock lies this potent force, often underestimated when we talk about all these techniques and ways that we can transform our lives, different universal laws. The power of a sense of urgency is often underestimated. It's not about mindless rushing or fueled panic. It's about seizing the moment, discerning the essential, and acting with purpose and passion. Today's episode, we delve into how harnessing this energy can transform our endeavors, propelling us not just to act, but to act in a way that brings about meaningful, impactful change. Let's explore the magic that unfolds when we combine intent with the urgency of now. Let me take you back to school, or if you're in school, you'll know what I'm talking about. You're given a project that you have to do, and it's due in 3 weeks. And then the third week rolls around, and it's due in a day. And you're able to do 3 weeks of work in that day, and it's good work. There is some amazing force that transforms you when you are on the clock and time is running out, that is irreplaceable. And oftentimes people need to have a sense of urgency, and for bigger things that they're trying to do in creating prosperity or in writing their book, oftentimes they don't feel the same sense of urgency as that deadline. And so there are ways that we can create a sense of urgency that I believe that will help you. A sense of urgency acts as a catalyst in our journey towards achieving goals and aspirations. It ignites a fire within us, driving us to prioritize, act, and harness opportunities that might otherwise slip through our fingers. It's the key to reality creation. Living in a world that's ever evolving, where technological advancements and societal shifts occur at breakneck speeds, those who lack urgency may find themselves left behind, grasping at the remnants of outdated paradigms and missed opportunities. Be sure to check out my episode on embracing the shift into fourth density. You can look it up, embracing the shift into fourth density. We are accessing an entirely new photon of light that we can see in our daily lives by looking at what's happening in the world. The world's becoming more complex and dense with information, and things are going to change and adapt very quickly. And so this sense of urgency is a fourth density quality, the sense of urgency for love. Urgency isn't about hastiness or reckless speed. It's a nuanced balance of swift action paired with thoughtful strategy. It motivates us to allocate our resources, be it time, energy, or focus, more effectively. It makes us discerning, enabling us to sift through the noise and concentrate on what truly matters. This selective attention ensures that we're not just busy, but productive and impactful in our endeavors. Furthermore, a genuine sense of urgency fosters innovation. When we recognize the importance of the present moment, we are more likely to challenge the status quo, take calculated risks, and think outside the box. This mindset breaks the chains of complacency and stagnation. It's transformational because it's not only changes how we work, but also alters how we perceive challenges and opportunities. Instead of seeing obstacles, we begin to see potential. Instead of procrastinating, we take the initiative. In the broader perspective, having a sense of urgency is more than a personal productivity tool. This is not just a self-help episode. It's a shift in perspective. It's about understanding the transient nature of time, the value of the present, and our potential within it at all moments. It teaches us to be proactive rather than reactive, to be leaders rather than followers, and most importantly, to be creators of our own reality and destiny. In embracing urgency, we embrace change, growth, and the boundless opportunities of the future. How can we create this sense of urgency? We must understand its opposite to understand urgency. I believe the opposite of urgency is complacency. The dictionary says complacency is a feeling of contentment or self-satisfaction, especially when coupled with an unawareness of danger or trouble. For our purposes here, two words in that definition are especially important. The first is feeling. Complacency is not only a thought, it's very much a feeling. It is usually less a matter of conscious, rational analysis than unconscious emotion. This point is extremely important because people usually treat complacency as a state of mind that can be changed solely with cold, hard facts. The second key word is self. Complacency is a feeling that a person has about his or her own behavior, about what he or she needs to do or not to do. This point is also extremely important because it is possible to see problems and yet be astonishingly complacent because you do not feel that the problems require changes in your own actions. Almost always complacent individuals do not view themselves as complacent. They see themselves as behaving quite rationally. Given the circumstances, they can sometimes be aggravatingly creative in justifying their point of view. You offer the facts about a threat or opportunity. They come up with their own highly selective data and think to themselves that you worry too much. These people can sometimes be hard to spot because they look rational, thoughtful, and prudent. Worse yet, they can see themselves as rational, thoughtful, and prudent. The odds are overwhelming that there is someone complacent around you. Where does it come from? It's almost always the product of success or perceived success. Somebody does pretty well, they're paying their bills. Complacency can live on long after great success has disappeared. There's this perception that you're still successful when you're not. The complacent virtually never think they are complacent. I'm doing what's right. Sometimes it isn't easy, but I know what to do and I do it. Or if I can't entirely do it, the problem is created over there, in that department, by that boss. At a very basic gut level, the complacent are content with the status quo. Sometimes they cling to what exists because they are afraid, often irrationally, of the consequence of making a change. The best way to identify the complacent is by what they do instead of what they say. The complacent do not alertly look for new opportunities or hazards facing their situation. They don't properly pay attention to what is happening out there in the world around them, the symbols being given them within the simulation. If you confront people with your observation that they're being complacent, almost without fail, they will think that you're wrong. Sometimes they'll become critical. They'll be offended, seriously offended, or wonder what your real agenda is. even in cases where problems are very hard to deny, complacent people will often say, in essence, of course, we have challenges and problems. Probe with questions and you will learn that the complacent think that others and not themselves are failing to face the challenges and problems. If those others would change, all would be well. This is what I sense, is that people who definitely need a sense of urgency clearly do not have a sense of urgency. And it's very apt to say that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. But if I, through this podcast, can give you a sense of urgency on your purpose in life, on your goals in life, for whatever it is that you want to do, in particular, I teach reality creation, so I want to give you a sense of urgency for that. If it's some new partner or a new relationship that you want, if it's a new business you want to start or a new car you want to drive, I want you to have a sense of urgency about this. It is my theory that the bridge of incidents that Neville Goddard talks about, when you imagine something and then you walk across a bridge of incidents to its fulfillment, that there are definable characteristics in most of the bridge of incidents when it's a big transformation in your life. And one of the steps is clearly that you end up with this sense of urgency. In most cases, the sense of urgency comes naturally to you because you love what you're doing. And what I have found is that love is an essential ingredient in a healthy sense of urgency. There's a caveat to all this, and that is that creating a sense of urgency should not come at the expense of your health. Too much urgency can create undue stress and lead to burnout. A false sense of urgency is a terrible, terrible problem. A false sense of urgency is an anxiety-driven, frenetic behavior of running around in circles, your tongue dragging after a certain point, and becoming stressed out. You have meeting after meeting, task force after task force, but it's activity, not productivity. It's work, not love. It is so insidious and dangerous. So we need to create a healthy sense of urgency that works for you, because my ultimate goal is that your dreams are fulfilled. How can I see you accomplish your goal? The most wonderful thing to manifest is you're actually manifesting that thing, experiencing it, walking across that bridge of incidents. And I just want to prepare you for one part of that bridge, which is the sense of urgency. And there may be ways for us to create a sense of urgency within you. By creating the sense of urgency, you can expedite your manifestation. You should expect it to happen. It should be something that you expect to happen. The first thing that you need for a sense of urgency is to clarify your purpose. Purpose seems to be the underlying key to creating a sense of urgency. Define your why. Understand deeply why you want to achieve a particular goal. Visualize the benefits. And then write it down. Write whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Whatever your purpose is, write it down. It could be as simple as choosing to serve others. Sometimes it could be very ambiguous and general, to provide more love to the world, to do better. Write it down so that you have a constant reminder and motivator. And the second thing you do is you set clear goals, smart goals. Ensure your goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. There is a world in which not setting specific goals is also helpful, but to begin with, give yourself smart goals and then break down large goals, split them into smaller actionable tasks. Maybe you want $1 million, and in order to get $1 million, you need to make $85,000 a month. So break it down, $85,000 a month, and then see yourself getting to the point where you can make that much a month. Split them into smaller actionable tasks. This can make them seem more manageable and give you a clear path forward. The third thing is to prioritize. Give yourself a daily top 3. Every day list the top 3 things that align most with your goals. Prioritize those over everything else and give them urgency. Make it an urgent thing that you focus on those 3 things. It has helped me to avoid multitasking, focusing on one thing at a time to increase efficiency and reduce feelings of being overwhelmed. But all my ADHD brothers know that sometimes we can't do that. And I do believe that moving into a new Earth, fourth density world will involve multitasking, and there will be a skill and talent in multitasking. But for some reason, that can take away your sense of urgency. So be aware of where you're placing your attention. And if you are feeling like you're not working as decisively as you want to, that you don't have the sense of urgency, then focus in on one thing and make that your priority. Your attention energy might be taking away from what you want your sense of urgency to be about. The fourth step is to use time management techniques. You can, for instance, use something that I've been experimenting with, the Pomodoro technique. You work super intensely without your phone, without anything else, and no distractions for 25 minutes. Then you take a 5-minute break. You can relax. You have to look at your phone, that's fine. Take a deep breath, maybe get up, move around a little bit. 25 minutes for 5-minute breaks. Or you can try time blocking. Dedicate specific blocks of time for specific activities or tasks. You spend this hour working on music, you spend this hour working on art, you spend this hour working on your YouTube, you spend this hour writing. That's the way I do it. I'm able to work on my art in the day, and at the same time, I'm able to do episodes, and then I'm able to write or do whatever it is I want to do by breaking them into blocks of time. The next is to create deadlines, but really believe in it. Don't create false deadlines. Create deadlines. I'm going to have this done by this date. Even if one isn't provided, set a deadline for yourself. Get into the habit of setting that deadline, and then bring back that energy that you had when you were in school, or when you've had to finish tasks, when you've been able to work super efficiently when time is running out. If you can create that energy in this particular manner by creating the deadline and believe it. Now, some people will say, oh, my deadline's false and nothing's going to happen if I don't do it. So then go into that. Question why you are challenging even deadlines you set for yourself. You'll learn a lot about yourself and the thing that you've set your deadline on. Perhaps you're not aligned motivationally towards this goal, and you have to completely rethink your original purpose and goal. Because if your purpose is solid, then all that stuff doesn't matter. You'll feel like, hey, this deadline's going to push me and I want to be pushed. Sometimes having someone else to create a deadline with will help you immensely. So if you have a coach and that coach says, this needs to be done by this date, and you check in with them and they say, yes, I just finished that, it helps. The fifth step is to visualize success and consequences. Now, I don't say that negative visualization is a good thing, but imagine the benefits and the feelings of achieving your goals. Really get into that feeling. But for some people, oddly enough, it's good to write down what the negative consequences will be, and even to negatively visualize it. I recommend looking at it in a movie theater so that you're not feeling into the visualization. Your imagination can show you the negative visualization without feeling into it, so it doesn't end up being created based on the law of assumption. It does help occasionally, but I would not make that your primary factor. For some reason, people are highly motivated by the negative outcome. I don't want this terrible thing to happen, so they start to work incredibly efficiently. So if that works for you, then what I recommend is looking at the vision in a movie theater neutrally and dissociated, but still kind of seeing like what would go wrong if you didn't finish this task in a timely manner. The sixth is to minimize distractions. This takes away your sense of urgency. Create a dedicated, organized workspace. Set a specific time of the day when you're most productive for high priority tasks. Use apps to block distracting websites, or set your phone on Do Not Disturb during high focus periods. The seventh would be to hold yourself accountable. At the end of the day, review what you've accomplished and what you could have done better. You will start to notice when you review your day that if you had a sense of urgency on that, you could have got that done. I look back on certain days and say, you didn't need to wait until 10 o'clock to finish that episode. You could have finished them in the morning and you could have had this wonderful day. Set yourself and give yourself that sense of urgency, even if it's for free time. Because for me, I get a sense of urgency so that I have free time. If I work hard now, then I won't have to work later. So reflect on the day and what motivates you and doesn't motivate you. And you create a feedback cybernetic response where you can change the ways you motivate yourself. Have an accountability partner or a coach and share your goals with a friend or family member who can check in with you, and that will help you to make yourself accountable. Make a public commitment sometimes, not often, because I do think it really holds people back in some cases. But if you're serious about this, announce your goal publicly. That can induce a sense of responsibility to follow through. There is a contradiction in reality creation terms, because when you do announce stuff publicly, you start to add other people's imaginations into the process. So I've avoided making public commitments, but there are definitely people that have succeeded in doing so when they hold themselves accountable and they're strong enough to resist any of those negative imaginations. The eighth thing is to reward yourself. Celebrate milestones. Sometimes the rewards are the sense of urgency. You are so excited for the reward that you celebrate. Give yourself something to look forward to after completing certain tasks or making significant progress. The ninth thing is to maintain physical well-being. It's hard to have a sense of urgency when you're not working out or meditating or getting enough rest, or you're tired all the time, you're not getting enough sleep. Those things always seem to knock me off balance. And so I try to at least maintain some physical and mental well-being. I work out 5 days a week, give myself sufficient rest. I do my best at that. The 10th is to stay inspired. Continue learning, read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos that will keep you inspired, and it will feed your sense of urgency. Another thing is to network. Engage with people who inspire you, who are on a similar journey, and their enthusiasm and dedication can be contagious. Every month, what I want you to do is check your progress, assess if your strategies are working, and make the necessary adjustments. This is a process, but you can create a healthy sense of urgency. It's truly something that they do, and corporations even make it part of their models of management. And it is discussed in managerial books how to create a sense of urgency, and it's used by salespeople. You must create a sense of urgency in the buyer. So obviously, it's a genuine thing to worry about. Remember, you want to have a genuine urgency instead of a false sense of urgency. Keep calm, act with urgency. It does not mean to shout, threaten, or panic. Look to yourself to stay calm when the most pressing matters arise. Think of ways you can show a sense of urgency while also maintaining a sense of calm. Give yourself little moments throughout the day where you think about this urgent matter. Take a couple minutes to sit down and meditate on it. If you have a deadline or something that you need to get done quickly, then maybe spend a minute, 2 or 3 times a day, a minute, where you just sit and think about, all right, this is still something I really want to do, and I have a sense of urgency, and these are the goals I have. These are the things that I need to do. Sometimes a coach can help you to get a sense of urgency. A psychologist, a meditation, a hypnosis track, a song. But there's got to be something in you that gives you that spark, that sparks you into that sense of urgency that is so powerful. Now, the final thing I want to do is a quick meditation to program this powerful, healthy sense of urgency into your personality framework, into your matrix, so that this becomes a part of your identity. So just take a quick moment right now and relax and settle into a comfortable position. Take a few moments to center yourself and establish a serene environment. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Inhale the possibilities of the present. And exhale any distractions or stress that might be lingering in your mind. Allow yourself to sink into the space where you are, grounding yourself in the here and now. And breathe for a few moments. With each inhale, you are inhaling the possibilities of the present, and with each exhale, any distractions or stress that might be lingering in your mind. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a serene, calm lake. The surface of the water is like glass, reflecting the vast sky above. This lake represents your life, vast, deep, and full of potential. Now, visualize a stone in your hand. This stone signifies opportunities and the limited time we have. As you hold it, feel its weight, its texture. Notice how unique and finite it is, just like each opportunity we encounter. Throw the stone into the lake. As it pierces the surface, notice the ripples it creates. Each ripple signifies the impact of our actions, big or small, when we seize the moment with urgency. While the stone sinks, representing the fleeting nature of time, the ripples expand outward, reaching every corner of the lake. This is the transformative power of urgency, its ability to spread, influence, and create change in vast measures. Now slowly bring your focus back to your breath. And as you inhale, absorb the energy and intent from this meditation. As you exhale, let go of procrastination and doubts. The very vibration of my voice integrates into your subconscious mind now and sparks your sense of urgency. You feel a healthy sense of urgency for all that you love and all that you wish to do. Breathe in, absorb the energy and intention and power of this sense of urgency. And as you exhale, you let go of procrastination and doubt. Just see it going away. With every breath, feel yourself becoming more aligned with the power of the present moment, ready to seize the opportunities that come your way with a renewed sense of urgency. When you're ready, gently open your eyes. Carry this feeling with you. Let it guide your actions and decisions, and remember the transformative power of embracing the present moment with intent and urgency. Go out into the day with this in the back of your mind. You have the power to do anything that you want in this world, to create any reality and accomplish any goal. You are unlimited in possibility. These possibilities are all before you. You can live the most amazing life, and all of it is available to you, no matter what your circumstances are now, no matter what your weight or your culture or the city you live in or the money that you make. All of it is available with just a little sense of urgency that can push you into the dreams that you have and make them real. And welcome to the reality revolution.